Hello everyone, and welcome back to Crafted Creations. Today I'm going to go ahead and show you how to fix this Star Wars Black Series Commander Bacara. He's missing a couple minor details, and the way that the helmet is shaped right out of the box, it makes him have kind of this sad, dopey look. So we're going to go ahead and make some few light modifications to make this a better figure. First thing you're going to want to do is follow my boil and pop method video so you can learn how to take your figures apart more easily. Once we get them popped apart, I'm going to go ahead and take off this belt. So I'm going to use a flathead screwdriver to go ahead and pry the glue off so that that'll slide right up over here. Now I'd already taken off the chest armor overlay up top, and it'll be a little difficult to get this off, but once you use a little elbow grease, it'll pop right off over the top. Once we get him apart, I've seen some videos online of pictures of people that had some bleeding issues with the comma. So we're going to go ahead and put that in a hot water bath and leave that in there for a little bit. We're also going to go ahead and peel off the overlay for the helmet that's glued down. So if you just heat that up in boiling water, leave it in there for a few minutes, much like the disassembly portion with the boil and pop method. Just leave the helmet in there for a little bit of extra time and you can peel that right off with no force or screwdriver necessary. Once you get that apart, we're going to go ahead and take some of this black and we're just going to extend the lines on the visor. We're just going to go up a little bit and then paint across the lip here where the helmet originally sat. I'm using a gloss enamel paint for this one just so that the visor maintains that shiny look to it. And as you see, once you put the visor back on top, it'll look a little bit better with it extended, but what I want to do is I want to Dremel this out a little bit so that it will sit a bit lower. So we're going to go ahead and take our Dremel, and right inside where it originally sat, we're just going to shave lightly. Now you don't want to dig too deep in there, otherwise you'll pop right through the top of the bucket on the helmet. So just go ahead and shave a little bit just to get a few little bit pieces out. You only really need it to go down maybe a couple millimeters. Once that's off, a trick that I'm going to do to make the helmet look a little bit sharper is I'm going to take some gray and mix that with the brownish paint. I'm going to paint the inside of the visor to kind of create a shadow, but what I'm going to do, similar to how I did the Balin skull robes, where I painted slightly a bit over the edge, I'm going to do that here just to kind of make a sharper look to the helmet. Once that's all painted, we're going to go ahead and just glue that down again. And as you see, it allows that to sit a little bit lower onto the visor. And I took these, the comma out, I soaked that in a hot water bath for a little bit. I didn't notice any ink or anything coming out of mine, but I did flash that in a cold water ice bath and put it in the dryer for a few minutes. I did that a few times just in case. I did notice after I'd taken it apart, on the front part of the thigh there was a little tiny bit of discoloration, so I think there must have been a little bit from inside the box. It was really hard to tell if anything had bled onto the figure while I was working on this, but yeah, I think it was pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to dilute that grayish brown mixture, and I'm just going to put a wash all over the figure. Now I'm not really being too particular as to where this goes, because I kind of want it to look like splatters or splashes. So when you have a wash and you water it down really well, the water's going to just kind of sink into the cracks and creases. And it'll also be wet enough that it'll allow you to manipulate the paint if you have too much in one area. So as you see here, like this belt portion, I could just smear that right back off if I wanted. That's why I like using this method versus traditional washes that you buy that are pre-mixed. You just have more control over this depending on how much water you use, and it doesn't really stain the figure when you use these types of paints. So here I'm going to take a really fine brush and I'm going to do some of the damages that make Bacara unique. He's got some scuffs on his right gauntlet, he's got a little bit of a scratch on the front, and then he's got some on his left breastplate on the chest armor. So I'm going to take this, still kind of dry brushing here, I don't really have a lot of that black paint, and it's still wet enough that I can move that around if I need to, it won't just kind of stick. So once I put that in one area, I just kind of smudge it with my finger, and it'll kind of smash it into the plastic and make it look more natural. I give him just a couple light scuffs and scratches at other spots on the helmet. And here I'm going to mix a little bit of red and magenta, and that's going to add a touch of black to darken it up a little bit. And I'm trying my best to match the color of the shoulder pad here. We're going to add those dots right onto the helmet. Sorry about this part, it kind of glared out. I had to I have a magnifying glass attached to one of my ring lights so that I can see really fine details. So I had to move the light and it kind of washed out that part. But you'll see it at the end when I show the final pictures. Here I'm going to go ahead and take a touch of silver and just paint a few of those greeblies on the helmet up on top. And I'm also going to paint the buckle on the belt. I've seen some people online paint it black. I went with silver just to match the Hot Toys version. I'm not sure if they had any reference photos, but I just kind of matched references with the Hot Toys for this one. I'm going to go ahead and take some silver and just shine up the buckle a little bit because those were kind of dark. And also the pad on the pauldron, the armor plate there. And there you have it, folks. There is our new and improved Commander Bacara. Just a few simple modifications to make this look a lot more screen accurate, especially disassembly on the helmet. Doing the Dremel trick to make that visor sit a little bit lower after painting those up just makes it have an overall much better look, and adding that dirt and grime to it makes a much more theatrical, screen accurate presence. Here's Bacara with his Jedi Master Ki-Adi Mundi. And we'll have another final shot here at the end. I hope you like this video. If you want to see more customs from me in the future, don't forget to follow the channel, leave a comment down below, and like and subscribe. And as always, stay crafty.